Welcome back to the Ben Mulroney Show on June 19th. It's Thursday, June 19th, 2025. And the war in between Israel and Iran is heating up. There are concerns that it might spin out of control. But the lay of the land today is shocking. I mean, my producer and I go to bed every night wondering, what are we going to wake up to? And we woke up to Iran quite literally bombing an Israeli hospital. And this, we need to unpack this. So it's called the Soroka Hospital. And the images are clear. The videos from inside are clear. The images of the exterior are clear. The bomb targeted this hospital. Iran targeted this hospital. And we know full well that Iran's policy in these bombings is to target civilian areas. They like to suggest that they're targeting civilian areas because they also act as military installations, secretly hiding F-35s in the parking garage of Tel Aviv high-rises. And this was apparently the target of this hospital was apparently a military complex that was next door. It is not next door. It is 2 kilometers away, if that. And so, not for nothing, on the 17th of October, 2023, 10 days after Hamas raped and pillaged and murdered its way through southern Israel, killing, essentially affecting a one-day Holocaust in southern Israel that launched us into this entire ordeal. There was an explosion at a hospital in Gaza City, and the Hamas Health Ministry, or whatever the hell it's called, said Israel bombed a hospital. And the entire world press, including the BBC and the CBC and God knows what else, jumped on that like a fat kid on cake and said, look at this, look at the inhumanity, the monsters of Israel killing these our foreign minister, Melanie Joly, put out a tweet condemning Israel for killing people at this hospital. Turns out it wasn't Israel. In fact, it was a missile that was fired by Hamas that misfired, that ended up in the parking lot. So that's how the world treated that. In this case, before ever saying what actually happened, the BBC felt it was incumbent upon them to verify the videos. So you take Hamas's word for it when it serves them, but when Israel gets bombed, now we have to verify it to make sure they're not lying. Okay, that's an apples to apples comparison. And just remember that every single time you are fed something from certain news sources, because certain news sources, they love to suggest that they are fair and balanced. They absolutely are not. And I just gave you a very prime example of it. And so because of this, now you're targeting Jews where they live and where they work and where they are sick. The Israeli defense minister has come out and said Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah, quote, can no longer be allowed to exist. That's the defense minister. And Israel doesn't write checks that they can't cash. So when I hear that, we know that 7 days ago, there was a plan put forth to kill the Ayatollah, just take him out. And Donald Trump asked Israel to pump the brakes. I don't know that the brakes are going to get pumped many more times. And if they say something like that, I'm pretty sure it's because they know they can do it. We've seen them pull off some MacGyver-style, James Bond-style, incredible, Great Escape, Mission Impossible-style capers in the beepers that exploded all simultaneously, and the drones that they had somehow gotten into central Iran weeks or months ago. They're playing 4D chess. So if they say they can do something, pretty sure it's because they know they can. And I don't know that Donald Trump is going to be the guy to tell them to pump the brakes anymore. Not when at the inside the Iranian parliament yesterday, there is imagery of a number of the parliamentarians getting together at the front of the parliament and standing at the podium, burning a U.S. flag and chanting "Death to America" in the seat of their parliament. Let's listen. Yeah. Do you think that's going to make Donald Trump more or less eager to allow Israel to do what they say they want to do? So that's one kind of chant. And you would think to yourself, my goodness, like they really don't like us there. The Iranian people really don't like the fact that they're coming for our regime. But that's not necessarily the case. We just heard one version of chanting. Let's listen to another take on chanting, this time from young girls in a school taking off their hijabs. And this is dozens, if not hundreds, of little girls inside a school. And let's listen to their screams of protest. They're screaming death to the dictator. Young girls at a school, dozens, if not hundreds of them, putting themselves in a position to be killed for their protest by this regime. And so I'm looking at you, Fred Hahn, the president of CUPE Ontario. I'm looking at you, CUPE Ontario, who elected Fred Hahn. All of you who are coming out with your hands off Iran protest. I'm looking at every single social justice warrior that goes to sleep at night, warm in the self-righteous belief that you're on the right side of history. By defending this regime, you are giving them the runway to go find these girls and kill these girls. Right? Remember when Boko Haram abducted all those young girls, bring our girls home? Where is your sympathy for these girls who have put targets on their backs by simply taking off their hijabs? By normalizing and making it harder to go do the hard work that needs to be done to give the people of Iran a chance to rise up and cast off the shackles of this repressive extension of Nazism. You people are making it easier for them to find these girls and kill these girls. I'm not saying you're pulling the trigger, but you're saying, hey guys, let's give them some time. Hey, hands off, guys, hands off. While our hands are off them, their hands are on the friggin' trigger. They will burn these girls. They will rape these girls. They will imprison these girls. They will kill these girls as sure as I am sitting here, and you know it. But your hatred of Israel, your hatred of Jews clouds you from that certainty that these girls' lives are in danger. So Fred Hahn, wake up from your friggin' fugue state, put down your hatred of Israel, and appreciate what you're actually doing, what bargain you're actually looking to cast. Look at that. If these girls die, I've named you. I've shamed you, but the problem is you have no shame. So all we can go with is your name. But every one of you who is convinced that you are high and mighty, every one of you who is convinced that you are so self-righteous in your mission, you will lead. Your actions will help these people kill these girls. Thanks so much for watching the show. Now, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode of The Ben Mulroney Show.